Hi guys, welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to be doing a review of the Gaomon S56K drawing tablet. If you have a slight sense of deja vu when I say that, that'll be because I have already reviewed this tablet once, but if you recall I had some calibration issues with it, so Gaomon said that they would send me another one because they thought that it was damaged in transit, because the original one came from Amazon and this one was sent directly from them and they said they tested it personally themselves. So thank you to Gaomon for sending me another one. So the Gaomon S56K is a flexible drawing tablet, which is really interesting because it's not like any others that I've used before. It's designed to be compact and space saving for those who have limited space to work in, and it can also be used as a mouse pad, so if you want to keep it on your desk when you're not using it, you can put your mouse on it instead. It currently retails at $26.99 on Amazon UK, so it's definitely an appealing price for those who want to get into digital art without too much of an upfront financial commitment. The tablet comes in a cardboard box with a plastic tray inside. In that you get the tablet itself, which as you can see is slightly bendy. Then you also get a CD for driver installation, which you don't actually need if you don't have a CD drive. You can install from the website. You also get a brief instruction leaflet. You get the spare nibs for the pen and the tool to replace the nibs, so you get 4 spare nibs, which is good. Then you get the USB cable, which is just a standard USB to micro USB connection, and then finally you get the pen. So the pen uses a AA battery. It's not rechargeable like a lot of other tablet pens tend to be, and it's not standalone like Wacom pens. You will need to put a battery in it. It has a button at the end where you turn it on and off so that when it's off it's not using battery, and it also has 2 buttons on the side which you can program to pretty much any shortcut you like. Setting up this tablet was very easy. I didn't have any hiccups. I just connected it to the USB and then went onto the Gaomon website to download the drivers. So like I said, you don't actually need the CD for installation if you don't have a drive. My laptop's CD drive doesn't work, so I just went on to Gaomon and then you enter your model number and your operating system and you can just download the drivers from there. From then I didn't have any problems installing it. If you have other tablets installed on your computer, you may need to uninstall those first because the drivers might clash. Within the Gaomon software there is a utility for testing out your pressure sensitivity, but interestingly I found that it didn't quite keep up with the way I tend to test my tablets. So I tend to draw a lot of quick strokes just to see how it performs, and it was kind of leaving those strokes with blocky ends instead of tapering them off as it should when the pressure sensitivity is working. I found this wasn't an indication of the tablet's actual performance because when I went into Paint Tool SCI, which is my standard drawing software, the pressure sensitivity was fine. So I think it's just actually that software itself for testing it that isn't quite up to scratch. As you can see from my following tests in Paint Tool SCI, the lines were much smoother and the pressure sensitivity worked as it should. There were some initially wobbly lines. This is mostly me, because I was getting used to using a non-screen tablet for the first time in a while, so full disclaimer, I use screen tablets generally, so I am very out of practice with non-screen tablets, so I just needed to do some practice lines to get used to using one of these again, and also because I wasn't used to the soft surface of this tablet. So like I said, this tablet obviously is marketed on the fact that it's flexible, so it has a softer surface than standard tablets. Gaomon did advise me not to bend the tablet completely over, so you can't roll it up or anything because they said that it might actually break it, but the fact that it's got a flexible surface is definitely different to other tablets that I've used, and the fact that it can be used as a mousepad as well, so if you have really limited space, it does utilise all of that space. Be aware that the USB cable does add another centimetre or so on top of the tablet. It's not shown in the picture on the front, but the cable does come out of the top of the tablet. So if you have a computer behind it, that will just reduce your space a tiny bit more. And I have the smallest desk I could find in IKEA, so my laptop and my tablet are very close to each other, and so it did add that little bit of extra dimension to the tablet, so just be aware of that. But I mean, standard tablets have the USB cable coming out the top, so you're probably used to that anyway. I've included footage from the screen recording and from my webcam so you can see how I work with this tablet if it helps you at all. The working area is 120 by 160mm, so it is very compact, but it didn't take me too long to get used to using that size tablet again. Like I said, I prefer the feeling of using a standard tablet that isn't flexible, but the pressure sensitivity was accurate. It has 2048 levels of pressure sensitivity, which is actually equal to my Wacom Cintiq and to most entry-level drawing tablets, so that's pretty impressive for the price bracket, and I felt like I utilised all of those levels of pressure sensitivity while I was working. The surface of this tablet gives you a little bit of bounce while you work, and combined with the fact that the pen has a much longer nib than most of the other tablet pens I've tried, it does feel slightly different to most other tablets that I've used, but it didn't take too long to get used to. The tablet has no express keys, so for anyone who's unfamiliar, express keys are buttons that are built into your tablet which you can program with shortcuts to speed up your process. And I use these a lot on my Cintiq. I have shortcuts for undo, redo, turning the pen from a pen to an eraser and back again, and so on. But on this tablet I didn't really miss them because I had my laptop right there, as you can see from the webcam footage. I just used the shortcuts on my laptop. I don't think necessarily that express keys are something that are missing on a tablet like this because it's so small. You would have to extend the tablet by quite a lot to fit them in. But it does have the express keys on the pen, which is really nice, and I programmed those to change the brush size, which is the same setting I have on my other tablets. That's just how I find it the easiest to use. So you can set those buttons to a lot of different shortcuts or any keystroke, which is what I did with the brush size, so that's really handy. The pen itself doesn't feel particularly expensive. It kind of feels a bit plasticky. Obviously it's more weighty when you put the battery in, but it does undeniably feel like it belongs to a lower price bracket tablet. This isn't a bad thing, it's just something that I noted. It has a comfortable rubber grip along with the buttons, so it didn't feel uncomfortable to use at all. I could use it for a long period of time without any problems or any strain on my hand, so that was really good. It has a 10mm reading height, which means you can take the pen away from the tablet by 10mm before it stops recognising where it is, and I found this to be pretty accurate to the description. I did test it out a few times, moving the pen away, seeing how it responded, and the 10mm is a pretty accurate representation there. Like I said, I used Paint Tool Sci for this, which is my standard drawing software, and I didn't have any software clashes or anything. A couple of times when I was drawing dots, such as when I was doing freckles on the character's face, the line wouldn't actually come out, so I had to go back and press a little bit harder. So I think that was because of the surface of the tablet is softer, so sometimes if you're drawing short lines or dots you have to just press a little bit harder. But apart from that, when drawing longer strokes, the pressure sensitivity didn't seem to have any issues. I didn't detect any lag, and also when I turned the computer off or just turned the pen off and then went back to using it again, there wasn't any delay in getting it started again. For anyone who may be curious, as always, I'm going to mention the character. This is one of my D&D characters. I'm going to be playing her in a one-shot next month, so I haven't played her yet. Her name is Brandathel Willowshield. She goes by Brandy, and she's half elf, half hill dwarf. She's short and has a little bit of a 5 o'clock shadow on occasions. I was going to draw her with sideburns and then they just didn't look right, so I need to work out how to draw sideburns, so I just gave her a little bit of stubble for now. She's a ranger, hence the arrows and the green cloak to blend in with the forest, and she's also from a merchant family. She has a bit of a weakness for money, and she doesn't like boats, which is unfortunate because the one shot is taking place on a boat. So I just thought, you know what, I'm going to make this character seasick. So just have fun with it. She doesn't really know what she's got herself in for, so that's going to be fun. So yeah, overall I'm very impressed with this tablet. I had a much more positive experience than I did with the previous one, which I can only assume was damaged in transit. This one had no issues with the active area, there was no skipping, there wasn't really any lag. I only had the occasional problem with pressure sensitivity, which was quickly resolved. I'm not 100% sold on the whole flexible tablet thing. I'm just not used to the texture of the tablet and the way that the surface feels to draw on, but it's not a bad thing, it's just different. So I would definitely recommend, especially for that price point, because at the moment it's much cheaper than it has been. When I first reviewed this tablet it was going for about £45 and now it's £26.99. So yeah, if you're just getting into digital art and you're not sure what to go for, this would definitely be a low upfront expense option. So if you have limited space and you're looking for a low cost option, I would definitely put this forward. So thank you Gaomon for sending me another one. I really hope you guys found this video useful. Please do ask me if you have any questions, and as always, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you next time. Bye!